Welcome to Shom Machshava on the Daf. The month of Av is sponsored by the Einhorn family, Lilu Nishmas of Naftali Bar Cheskel. We're holding in Chulin Daf Pei Beis. And we have two inyonim in the Daf that connect together beautifully. And in Amud Beis, the Gemara tells us that a Nazir who was warned multiple times, he's going to be chayav malchus for each warning. Amrula al tishte v'u They warn him not to drink wine because he's a Nazir. And he drinks. And then they warn him again and he drinks. For every time that he drinks and he has his warning, he gets malchus. Rabbi Nisayon in Shari Tshuva Shar Aleph, he speaks about the fact that doing an Aveira multiple times, it's much worse than doing it only one time. Because someone who does the Chet multiple times, the Tshuva is much more difficult. Nases lokeheter, as Chazal tell us. And adds Rabbi Nisayon in the name of Chazal, that if someone did an Aveira twice, and then the third time he wants to do the Aveira, but he's not able to do it, so his machshava ra mitztarefes lemaaseh, because he's getting further away from tshuva. He's completely connected to the chet. As Rabbi Nisayon, one should not think that if he does the same chet multiple times, he's just adding to the original chet. He brings our Gemara. If you mazir, you have a hazara for a nazir, every time he does the chet, it's another chet. And he says this is a rog doilo, it's a bad thing. People feel that if they're doing all the mitzvahs, there's one mitzvah they're not so careful about. So they do it multiple times, they feel it's fine, it's part of the same, I have to fix that. Every single time they do the Aveiro, it is, again, there's a time against them, and the more they do it, the worse it becomes. Because now it's much harder for them to get disconnected from it. And I am the Gris Moshe on Chaim Chelek Daled Siman Kuf Yud Ches. He's writing a tshuva to a woman who did Averis, she did it multiple times, and she's asking a way to do tshuva. So Rav Moshe points out that besides the issue of doing it twice, that it's tougher also, part of what Chazal are telling us, Nazas Lokeheter, is that the Nisayon, the challenge is much greater. Because once a person does something multiple times, it's much more difficult for him to get away from it. And we daven every day, Al Teviyenu L'Dei Nisayon. Let's not come to a challenge. Let's not have that test. And the more a person is connected to the Chet, the more of a challenge it is for him. The more of a test, the more of a Nisayon. So that's more of the issue of doing a Chet multiple times. And this idea of getting away from a Nisayon, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz explains beautifully the Gemara in Amud Aleph. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz there in the Sicha Chof Aleph, in the Sichas Musar, he goes on to say that the main avoid of Adam in this world is to get away from a Nisayon. Not to fight the Yetzer Hara, but to get away from a Nisayon. And that's what we're davening every day, Al Teviyenu L'Dei Nisayon. Our avoid is to get away from the Yetzer Hara, not to get close and try to overcome it, but to get away from the Yetzer Hara. And with this he explains the Gemara in Amud Aleph. The Gemara brings that someone who bought Oysav Ezbnoi, so the first one who buys, he has the right to go and shecht first. But if the second one goes and does it first, he's a Zoriz Viniskar. Zoriz, the loy of a disur. He didn't do an isur. So says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, the right is for the first one to do the shechita. The second one can go and do it first. Al Pi Din, he doesn't have to wait for the first one to do it. But why is it called Zoriz Viniskar? Says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, because he got away from a Nisayon. If he will wait for the first person to do it, so then he has a little bit of a challenge. That day, he has to hold himself back from shechting the animal. It's a Nisayon, it's a challenge. If he ran and did it first, he got away from a Nisayon. So it comes out that these two parts of the Gemara connect beautifully. The Gemara with base tells us not to do an Aveira twice. And the Mepharshim tell us Aveira twice is magbir the Nisayon. It makes the Nisayon more difficult. And in Amud Aleph, the Gemara tells us that when a person gets away from a Nisayon, he has the Agdara of Zoriz Viniskar because he ran away from being challenged. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shom Machshava Shurim, email shormachshava@gmail.com.